Alrighty, making sure things are working. Making sure everything's up and running right. Alright, there we go. This game's spinning. Hopefully things don't break. Alright, so in that case, I can go ahead and mute it. Do that. Alright. Yes. Let's get that all set. Alright. That should now all be good. Making sure things are looking good. Do that. Do this. Making sure everything's all good. And yes. Alright. There we go. Hello everybody. Hello to anyone who is here currently. Alright. So you know what? I'm just going to get started without putting any more delay of setting things up while streaming all that. Because that is a nightmare that nobody wants to see. Alright, so music might be too loud. I'll lower that down to 35. Line accept. Alrighty. That should be good. Hopefully. Alright, so I don't know why I didn't think of streaming this before, but I have a bit of a mini-series of vehicles that I have already made that I'm planning to make a much larger arsenal for. Whereas currently I just have all of these ones at the moment, which actually, if you follow me over on my YouTube channel, I am planning to make a series for each of these designs, going into greater depth of each of them, and also even including into lore. Hence why they're all called Insurgent. Also plays a role with these orange ones up here, which I'm planning to write some more lore for all of these. This one's still by far my favorite one that I did. And then the most recent one I did was this. Meant to be a scout tank. Kind of looks like a heavy tank, weirdly enough. A little bit bothersome, but I mean, hey, if it works, I guess. Which, I must say, it's not terrible. It's not what I hoped. Are you kidding me? Okay, well that's fabulous. Yeah, don't mind that loud noise on the background. Alrighty, so plan for today: new design, falling in series with the Insurgent class tanks. So first we did an anti-personnel / anti-air, tank destroyer, gun carrier, which is also tank destroyer, same thing essentially, APC, which doesn't work properly until the right update releases for multi-guns, and so the machine guns work. The main battle tank and a scout, light scout. So for this one, I'm planning for probably doing a designated heavy tank, because currently there is not one. So I'm thinking for this series of tanks, I'll probably do a heavy, because so far I have a couple tank destroyers, anti-personnel, light, APC, scout, or MPTs and whatnot. So I should probably do a heavy for this whole squad. And I'm not too sure of what to go for, but I have a bit of an idea in mind. Kind of similar with the scout, as you saw with the front that cuts in. I'm thinking it's gonna have this have something similar to that, but maybe it does that on the back instead, and then the front is raised up, if not the rear. Probably do a raised front with a lower rear that sticks, that kind of has the jut in the center, like the previous one. I guess that'll be weird for the engine movements, but you know what? Sprocket doesn't have to follow physics, because it doesn't quite do so. So, because of that, I'm just going to go ahead and get out of the design with what I've got in mind. It's got to be not as wide. The tracks in one are definitely going to be wider. I'm going to go ahead and do some of this without the freeform. I'm going to do as much as I can without it first, and then do the freeform once I got some of the basic design stuff, because it gets a little tedious with the freeform sometimes. So I'm just going to do as much as I can without it first, and then see where to go from there. Fenders, width, set those up. And if anything is too loud or too quiet, for I notice there is someone watching, if anything is too loud or too quiet, please do let me know, because I know my mic is finicky and likes to be a little buzzy every now and then. Not quite sure why. Ever since I have my new setup, it's been doing this. Alright, so length, a little bit longer. It's looking alright on the width. Whenever double Trex comes out, that's going to be so nice, if that ever becomes a thing. Hoping it does. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll turn fenders off, because I don't really need those, actually. Sprocket, height. Raise it a little bit. 27? No. Let's do manually. 25. Is that what I was at before? I can English. That's probably what I was at before. Height 19. Alright, that's all level. Now to change the overall shape. Let's see. I need to switch back to base, of course. Raise this a little bit. Move, that affects the length. Okay. Good. It's probably good there. Actually, ooh. I might have this as a large frontal plate. Yeah, I'll raise this up. Can't I do... No, that spot's an angle. How do I lower this part? Or can I? Huh. Split? No. Although I do actually want that a little bit higher. Up to about there. That'd be good. Yeah, all the wheels and whatnot are going to be raised back up. I'm not bothering with that yet. Trying to figure out how to get this part here to go down. I guess I need the freeform to do that as of currently. That would have to be my guess. If I had to assume so, I would say it's probably the freeform. Let me change that in. So then, there. Yeah, I'll go ahead and raise this. Idler, height, up to about there. Yeah. Let's move back a bit. There, maybe? Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Base. This needs to come back way back so it's more of an angle. Good. Mobility. Turn rollers. I'm going to go in and set all these wheels. That's good. Idler wheel. Alright, that needs to set to that as well. Idler mount. Yeah, that one's fine because you can't even see it anyways. Which is exactly what I need. Need it so you don't see that. So then, I might actually straight up just have this retracted in. Have that no angle. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Mobility, idler, raise that a bit so it's even with there, and move it forwards a tad. Yes, so if it ever runs anything, the hole itself won't ever hit anything. Height, set that down a bit. Yeah, that should be good right about there. Alright, hoping that works out. That can always be changed as needed. What is going on there? Okay, well something's bugging out, that's for sure. Return rollers, height. Yes, just like that. Raise those way up. Forwards. Yes, probably right about there. Oh no, is that not going to work right? Okay, that'll do. Actually, no, that needs to be more forwards because I want there to just be 2. Yeah, just like that. Only need there to be 2 of them. Turn rollers, road wheels, diameter. No. Where is that one? There we go. Tracks, suspension, just angle. That needs to be all the way up. So then, just that was okay. Thought so. Damper. I'm gonna go ahead and set that to 1,000. Diameter. Go ahead and set that down to 55. Put it to the standard of what I've always got these set to. All right. Spacing a bit. That is annoying. Let's write that. Spacing. So if I space that out, I'm going to get rid of it. Okay. Nope. There we go. Okay. That's looking weird as hell at the moment. But you know what? I set the diameter back up. Give it some chunky wheels, that is. Way too high up. Look at that. Yeah, just like that. Alright, for the overall wheel shape, that's not too bad. Spacing. Ooh, I could. No, that looks a little weird. Not spacing an axle. No. Normal spacing. So that little thing is not popping out the front. There we go. Perfect. Alright, now I I gotta get the distance of those right. Width, 16 meters. Spacing of the axle, if I remember correctly, it should be... All these, the whole series of them, have a bit of a universal thing to them when it comes to the wheels. For the most part. Sort of, not exactly. If that makes sense. I try to give the wheels and the tracks a bit of a set style, so it makes it a little bit easier for coming up with new designs, because then I can just replicate the tracks for the most part. And then with that, I'm able to create new designs relatively quickly, because then the big part being, well, the tracks isn't the biggest part per se, but it's an important part. Can't have a tank that works without tracks. You kind of need them. Idler, spacing an axle. Okay, lower that down. Set the width. It's the width of that needed to be 16. Okay. And set that up. 24. Set for those. Spacing 13. Spacing 24. Width 16. Width 16. Okay. Oh yeah, because the idler is more inwards. That's a little bit annoying, but you mind? I mean, if I can English, you know, it kind of is what it is. It is what it is. I will fix that up later. I know for the moment the hull is looking very bizarre, but yes, the hull will change. Just focusing on the tracks and all that right now, currently, because that's the most important part. Sprocket, a little bit forwards. Bottom here. Huh. With respect to mobility. Huh. Don't know if I should have this angled inwards or no. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Gosh, the addition of undo and redo with that update was the most beneficial thing for me by a long shot, because I accidentally do things all the damn time, and some of them have to be super precise, so then when I mess them up, I would just have to leave them be and deal with how they were, which is a bit of a nightmare sometimes. Mobility, I actually need to raise... do I? Actually, yeah, probably can just set it back a bit. That's better. I guess I can't do it. Okay, that's fine. Is what it is, I guess. Well, then again, I can actually just do the mount size. I wish there was like a flashlight for the camera, so that if you want to edit something, you can actually see what you're doing. It'd be much easier if that were a thing. You know, can't blame him for it not being a thing. It is what it is, I suppose. Alright, idler mount. No, I don't want to choose that one. Sprocket mount. There we go. Where does that... Oh, that goes down to there. No. Keeping it to that. I'll put the mount size back up a little bit to about here. For now. All that is subject to change, and that will be changed because this hole is going to get real weird. Gonna make it a little bit wider. That's for what I've got in mind with this one. This is way too high off the ground. This is way too high up. Then again, the rest angle is pretty high. I can always mess with the suspension, so then when it does... what? What happened there? Why is it like that? I did not move those road wheels. Change how far forwards those are. I can't. Those are already as far as they can be. Spacing. Okay. There we go. Now those are good again. Okay. forwards. There we go, set that back. Yeah, this only needs 2. It doesn't need more. And those are probably fine where they are for now. Can't imagine I would need to move those. Yeah, those are looking fine. Ooh. That is stuff I can edit. Yep, okay. So that's stuff to do with freeform. I'll have to split that so that I can go the other direction. Does that go by enough? Okay, so is this good for the base design? Before I switch for the freeform. So I can make any more of the big basic changes. Yeah. Actually, before I do, I'm gonna... Nope, not save it as that. Goddamn. Where do we go? Get rid of that. Insurgent. Heavy type. Yes. Okay, there we go. Now, enter freeform. So I can save before the freeform, so nothing gets messed up. Let me actually check the suspension so far. Absolutely nothing. Okay, that's no surprise. There's no engine or there's no weight to this at all. Okay. Oh, what? Oh, it's the sponsons. The sponsons should be off. So why is that affected? They should not be affected at all. That is... Wait a moment. I forgot I should just set it to the freeform hole. Okay, there we go. That'll make it easier, so now that won't have any sponsons at all. Now that doesn't have the right shape. That's a little bit annoying. Actually, I could just do... Yes, I could do this. Okay, so extend them out of it. Now to freeform. Then faces, select delete. Okay, delete key doesn't work for some reason, right? Do those manually. So then if I forcibly, no, select that face, it is not mirroring. That's annoying. That's what it is, I guess. And are all of those faces gone? Yes. And then take that face. There we go. Points. So then, am I able to get rid of that point? No. Okay. God dang it. That was not a smart idea. Okay. I'm just gonna go back to this, set it to this hole. This will make it so much easier if I just use this hole. I should have done it in the first place. Select the face. Better be mirroring. Good, it is. Is it wide enough? Yes. Faces, raise that up. And to the user who is in chat, I give you my greetings. Notice you've been here for a while. Basically, even before I started streaming almost, I noticed. And if you got any ideas from what I'm working on, please do leave ideas in chat, since I'm not exactly fullest on ideas at the moment, but I'm getting there. Edges. Ooh, that's gonna be annoying. That's gonna be really annoying to deal with. With having to split all of this. I could... Better idea. Faces. Set this back. Does that affect it? No, it does not. Okay, good. Set that to there. Yes. Extend it. Yes, there we go. Lower that. To there. Time I'll have that a little bit higher so I can get all the stuff right. Raise this up. Faces. Extend that to about there. Alright, there we go. That's better. Inwards a bit. Should I have that pointed or should I only flat? No, yeah. I will do a solid edge. Why not? That. Well, at least I'll get as close as I can to an edge. Unless I can merge these. No, I can't. Okay. Faces, delete points. Merge those. And merge those. Yes! Just like that. Absolutely perfect. Oh, that's better. That was tedious. Now I can, if that would like to get out of the way, move it forwards again. There, now it's too far forwards. Back a bit. Because the treads need to be in the front. Do that, and then I can move that back a bit. Because the lower plate of all plates needs to be angled pretty heavily on this. Alright, should be good. Upper plate. Should I have it more angled? Yes, yes I should. Not too much. Yeah. About to the... yeah, I'll have it too. That is annoying with how large those are. Actually, you know, that could actually work in my favor. So move that forwards a tad, because then I can utilize those to look like mounts for headlights, actually. So I'm actually going to do that, because that actually might work pretty well for that. So yeah, utilize the rodeo mounts. No, I cannot English at the moment. The return roller mounts. I use that as what looks to be a mount for headlights. Also, don't mind the squeaky chair if you happen to hear it. I don't know why it's so squeaky. Oh, and now it's not. Okay, when I try to make it squeak loudly, it's magically no longer squeaky. Fabulous. Logic 100. Alright, edges. Should I extend that? Ooh. This does need to be... if I can English. This does need to be split. Ooh. Actually... yeah, because I don't want to use the generated fenders. So... in that case, let me make this not as wide, so then I'll extend that out, so then I can get the right shape of what I'm going for. Make sure that's just enough. Not too much. Let's see, actually, based on how wide the road wheel mounts are. Oh, what is happening there? What is happening there? Oh, that wasn't selected. That's right. Okay. There we go. Pull that in. Do this so I can actually see right down, so I know where that one goes to. Those are pretty decently wide, actually. Huh. Yeah, I'll have that to there. So that can actually no, it's too wide. It's too wide enough just so it just barely touches that, so a little bit of that is sticking out. Oh, perfect spot. Right. Then extend that just about there. Maybe a tad inwards, so that doesn't bother me. Yeah, tad inwards. That's gonna annoy me, but you know what? It is what it is. Gotta deal with it sometimes. What if I move this? Does that stretch it like that? Yes, it does. Ooh. Okay, that's an issue. It's because of that. Let me undo the extrusions. Yeah, let me undo those entirely. So then, stretches. Basically be right here. Yep. Extend. Just be flat with that. Of course, it's not going to be. That's going to be annoying. See, I'm trying to make it so this big square back here can cut inwards a bit, but then the parts that are here that are sticking back to hold on to this aren't like slightly angled inwards. I want them just to be flat. Actually, that is so much easier than I'm making it out to be, because then I can just extend this. I don't think I had enough. I definitely should more. I mean, I guess sometimes it works, so. So to there again. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's what I could have just done, just that. Edges, alright. Let's get the edges right there. Pull that way up. Actually, no, don't pull that way up. Pull it out to there. Actually, no, actually, don't do that yet. Don't do that yet. Faces. Why is faces not selected? Pull this out first, so I get that in the right spot. There we go. Okay. So now can I pull that in? Yes, I can. Okay. Alright, so how far in do I want that to be? Not too far in. Just enough for the design of what I've got in mind. Maybe to about there? Does that work? Yeah. I think that works. Looking decent, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. That'll be a good spot. Now, edges. I just need to make sure. Faces. Ooh. Oh no. That's not gonna work right. Okay, so before I do that at all, before I do this at all, that needs to go like that. That also needs to undo the extrusions. There we go. Gonna be a long process of a lot of undoing. Because I gotta go back and fix things. Alright. There we go. Now that should be good. Now that should... No. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I do have to split this. What about the faces on the side? Is that all just one thing? Yes, it is. Okay. Good. Or not exactly one, but that'll do. Split. Where does it split to in the center? That doesn't actually split up to the front. Okay. I guess that's fine, since I don't really need to modify the front null past this point. So that should work out alright. I've just got we'll make sure that this is in fact low enough. Where do I want that angle to start from? It goes right from down. Yes, English 100. You know what? Actually, no. That does not matter at the moment. I don't actually need to worry about that. We do. Is that currently split? No, it's not split. Okay, now I can split it. There we go. So now I can actually do that properly. Okay, so now that is split. That is in fact split. As it should be. That means now I can... Yes, there we go. Much better. Now I can extend this inwards. To maybe... right about there? Is that good? It's going to be kind of Sherman-esque, now that I think about it. Yeah, I want there to be plenty of internal space. So because of that, I'm actually going to edit the turn rollers again, pull them back. Let's have 3 of them. Yeah, 3 should be good. So I can move that forwards a bit again. Not too far. That will actually need to go up more because the back's going to be lowered. Okay, there we go. And then this some more. I still need to remember this is all going to be cut inwards. Things are not going to work right if I do that. Huh. Did not consider that. This is not going to entirely work correctly. You know what? Yeah, for the time being, let's just try. Yeah, so extend, stretch that out, there, okay. And then extend this. Yep, just as I thought, that angling, that's what I did not want to have happen. Wish that could just be edited like in the normal editor instead of going straight in and still expand out with it. Nope. Wasn't it? The bottom rear does not need any angling on it. That became pointless. Okay. Huh. This is not an easy design to figure out how to do this exactly with what I have in mind. It is not an easy design at all. I might have made a mistake. Highlight that. Forwards to there. Yeah, there we go. That'll do. Alright, I'm actually gonna raise my mic volume up a bit so when I speak more silently, I can still actually be heard. Because I noticed, it's not able to. Except for when I look at my mic, then it's much louder. I still do need to actually fix my mic setup, but I haven't bothered with it yet. Since it has an issue. I don't quite know what. I just haven't bothered. Ooh, wait. If I scale that... No. It's not doing what I want it to do. Faces. No. Interesting. Not what I'm going for. But interesting. I entirely forgot I could rotate this. Do some weird curse stuff like this. Ah, yes. Amazing. Absolutely majestic. That looks terrible. So don't do that. So faces. So I just able to... We should have done that while I was still flat. Yep, gonna have to do that. Mass of undo. And I can't undo anymore. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. And I just realized as well, because I clicked off, I can't redo. Alright. I have the hacking stick. Alright. So if I want this to work, this will have to be flat. You know what? I'm just gonna redo the whole. This will make it so much easier if I just redo it. Because I know what I need to do now. And it will be 50,000 million jillion times easier if I just redo it. Faces. Delete. Points. Merge. Points. Merge. Alright. Edges. Down. Forwards. Bit. Too much. Looks good on the angling there. Looks good on the angling there. No idea what the angles actually are. It's not too important, just as long as it's enough. Use that up a bit. Okay, so then what I want you to do now extend it in. Take the rear, extend this in first. How far do I want it to go in? Move it to the first suspension point. Yeah. About to there. Not too far in. Just enough. Right about there. Looks alright, I suppose. Yeah. That'll be good. Extend that. Not too far out. Extend that way out. Yes, there we go. And I realize getting the angle in the first place now is going to be extremely difficult. Unless I can do what I think I can do. And I have no idea if this will work. At least the way I hope it does. Okay, it's good to know. I need to split this. Split. Set that back to... set it back to maybe right about there. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. Okay. 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 Not too bad now. Not too bad. Getting there. Finally. After much trial and error. Finally. Now it's a matter of if I can get those two angles lined up. At least as close as possible. Okay, there we go. That's pretty dang on point. Angle is probably like a 0.01 difference. It's probably a very, very slight difference. So now that I've got that, change the sprocket mount size now. Actually, no. There we go. Make it entirely hidden. Don't need to see it. So it does not matter. Although, it could be extended in just a little wee bit. Which is again. Let's see, it's pretty on point. And faces, and then extend. Maybe like around right there. Yeah. Edges. Pull that way down. So it's got more of a curve towards the back. Yeah. Yeah, move. No. Don't do that. Yeah, I can move. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. Perfection. You would expect that to be the front, but that is actually the rear. At least with the way the design is, that seems like that would be the front. Or with the cut-in, because that's usually how the things are. If there's a cut-in, that's typically on the front. Not so much on the rear. Because I got that file, I'm going to go ahead and save that. Alright, so I think I got the hole down finally. Maybe? Well, the general shape. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. I'll go with this for its overall whole design. And then if I need to change it later, I can. It's not too difficult. It'll just be tedious. I just double save just sure. Just ensure? What? Just in case. In English? Alright, so basic hole shape has been achieved. Finally. After 50 minutes. Lovely. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it mobility, engine, max out the engine, give it some more torque. This thing's not meant to be fast. Just meant to be able to get over whatever it needs to. preview. To 3.5 ratio. Not bad. Idle. Yeah, that should be all the way up. So it catches up pretty quickly. Whenever it stops and has to sit for a moment, it'll catch back up. Very fast, apparently. Transmission. Alright, this is the big part of this now. I'll have 6 reverse gears. So great. I'm going to get some armor on this so then I can simulate the weight. Upper plate. Gonna be pretty beefy. I'm going to add some armor as well from external plating, so I won't make the base armor too tough. I'll give it about... yeah. Let's go with about 120 at most, just for base armor. Yeah. Gotta give it a very tough front. I'm going to add a lot with actual plates and whatnot. Sides as well are going to be pretty beefy. I do 90. Yeah, 90 will do, because this is going to have spaced armor on the side. The top... do about 60. Yeah. This isn't meant to be heavy. This thing needs to be a beefy boy. That little back part. I'll do 120. That will be... yeah, 120 as well. I'll just beef that with external armor. That 100% needs to be beefed up. And will be with external armor as well. Don't let that get penned. Rear... wherever I can afford heavy armor, I will put heavy armor. 100. Yes. Don't want to go too heavy, but I want to go heavy enough so nothing will be able to pin this thing. Oh, yeah. This rear is looking tough. This is the only major weak spot, and then this plate here. That's not too much of a weak spot because you have to be at really the right angle, and at that point you might as well shoot here because that's thinner, but then you'll have that to worry about, the sprocket being in the way. Ooh. Yes, that is quite nice. Yeah, but you have to be pretty high above that thing to pin through that roof. What's the floor of this? Not the floor, the belly. Raise the belly to about 30. It's not like you're ever going to be there anyways, but it's better to have it a little bit higher, so if explosives go off, or if there's a mine beneath it, then it won't be too likely it'll be completely wrecked by a mine, because you don't want a heavy tank to easily be destroyed from mines. Or from HE shells that miss and hit below. Don't want either of those. So... and save that. It's the actual armor of the hull. It's looking good. Gosh, of course, this is going to get space screwed up when I add the turret. Didn't consider for that. Mobility, engine, vents. One big old vent on the rear. Maybe? Two. I'll just make them wider. Actually, I'll have them up here. This will be a better spot. This way, maybe? Yeah, it looks a little better. Crew. Big old door. Right on the back. If I can place this right. Of course I can't. Stay right there. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. That'll do. Alright, so then I'm also going to go and put some exhausts right here. Ew. Ever so slightly inwards. Alright, here we go. Weird spot for exhaust, I know, but you know what? It works. If it works, it works. That's what I mostly care about. Structural. Add some of these boys. I don't know why I'm scaling those when I could have scaled them manually anyways. So they completely cover this weak point. With some additional armor without taking up internal space. Not too heavy, just heavy enough. Right about there. Longer. Tad. Too far over. There. And that's a bit actually. Yeah, there we go. And then as well on the lower. See too well. Just don't have a camera light. That is the number one complaint I have is that the camera needs to have light so you can see what you're doing. Because in some spots it can't. Like right in this area. Can't see because it's just shadow. Alright. It's good. It's looking good on the applied armor. Alright. So that should be good. Alright, just the camera. And then the front. Ooh, the front's getting a big, beefy plate. Which will be resized. To fit accordingly. Just like that. Perfect. Can I make it any wider? I can't. I don't want to have to do split plates. Is that one just a single flat front? I guess I'll do that. This might work. Almost perfect. Move that in just a tad. Now that should be good. Yes! Absolutely perfect. Question is, how much armor does that actually add? Not enough. That needs to be much, much beefier. Mega thick. Oh, that's already as thick as it can be. What? It does not add much. That barely adds anything. What? That does not... Yeah, that only adds about 3 millimeters, I just noticed. That's fine. Hello there, BTD. Welcome to the stream. See you over there in the chat. Get that a little bit larger. Indeed. No. Stretch too far. There we go. Perfect. Yes. Alright. So now I need to change up the armor again. This apparently needs to be beefier than 120 millimeters. What about 150? How much does it give it now with the addition? Still not enough. 200? That plating only adds 32 millimeters. Doesn't add much. That probably makes a bigger difference than I think it does. As well as the bottom also needs to be 200. Yeah. That front needs to be as beefy as it can possibly be. Even if that means sacrificing the realism of this tank. I'm not too concerned about that. I'll put down the armor on this. Set it at 5, makes it nothing. Alright, so make that 100. So then... I'm trying to think about how I could fix this issue. Right, so how can I fix that issue with that? What are these ones set to? 120? Yeah, I'll keep that 120. And then I'll just add external armor. Yes. Crew. Also, the crew needs the maximum space, too. So when everything's added. Actually, the hull might be fine, because I haven't added the turret in yet. 2 crew members take up a lot of space. So yeah, I might, when I add the turret, that might help with the weight. I'm not too concerned about this part. I'll still add these plates right here just in case. Make them larger. That is. It's possible for the exhaust to not be going for about 5 seconds, so I can actually see properly. That would be fantastic. Set that there. A little bit taller. Lower this. Is it up there? Yes. Okay. And stretch that out as much. Not that much. About to there. Should be good. Then move it back. Yes. Just like that. Actually, no. Down a little. Down a little. Bring it a bit forward, backwards, potentially a bit up. Should I make that plate beefier? Do I need to make that plate beefier is the better question. Yes, definitely should get Sprocket as soon as you can, because I'm not sure when the multi-gun update is coming out. I know that's going to be the next major update. I'm not sure how soon that's going to be. Probably within the next couple weeks. Within maybe the next 2, if I had to guess. So getting it as soon as you can is definitely a better choice, so then you can really kind of take the time to get how the whole building interface works. Because just the normal interface is pretty simple and straightforward. The freeform interface, I'll give you a warning now, can be a little bit confusing if you don't fully understand how the whole thing works. Because with the, let me save this real quick. Because the big thing with the freeform editor, it allows you to do a lot more shapes that you wouldn't be able to normally do with the normal editor. And the thing with also with the freeform editor, you can edit the shapes by every point there is on the model, every edge, like split metal edges and whatnot, hence like why you'll see this not going fully across. It's because there is this whole section right here is actually an extrusion from the center. You can edit points, edges, and faces, which is the benefit with the freeform editor is that you can edit so much more stuff. Space engineers? No idea. Not my thing. But if I had to recommend, probably a cruiser, since those can generally handle more. Heavies are much slower and beefier, so they're much more prone. Same goes with tanks even, too. The same thing applies to tanks as does for spaceships. The heavier, typically the bigger and the slower they are. Cruisers, typically a little bit faster and better armed. Frigates, smaller, faster, lighter. So typically, in general, normally speaking, even the case with like MBTs as well, they go for like a bit of a mix of a medium, mostly predominantly kind of medium tank sort of stats. Cruiser ships kind of do the same type of thing, but with ships, not tanks. So I'd say just about kind of the same sort of rules apply with ships as do tanks. If I had to guess, at least. I would have no idea, since spaceship building is not my thing. I am terrible with things like that. Like with games like where you construct your vehicles with voxels, bleh, not my thing. Stuff like Sprocket is where I thrive, where you're given a thing, you mold it rather than build it piece by piece. Especially since I've done some 3D modeling for a little while, so stuff like this I thrive with. Alright, so... Why am I still in holds? Ability. Actually, I do need to I need to test how mobile this whole thing is now. That'll just be a placeholder. For how heavy this is surprisingly speedy. Especially with how high the torque is set. That's the best thing about Sprocket is that suspension. It's just gorgeous. Oh, the turning's pretty bad on this thing, though. Let's just see how long it takes to turn. Flat spot. Forward turn. Ooh, that takes a little long for it to turn. That'll do. What's just the top speed of this? I hate that this is as fast as it is, but you know what? It works, I guess. That's fantastic. Let's see what incline it can go up on. Let's just go straight for 25, because this will probably take 25 degrees easily. And yeah, there's also definitely mediums that are along the heavier side, ships and tanks included. Oh, that went up 25 degrees with no problems at all. Alright, stop moving. Let's turn. Go. Still need to figure out as well if I can get chat to show up on the side of the stream. Don't know how to do that, so I'm not too worried about that. Since I just got chat put up on another screen, so I'm able to look at it at the same time. Oh my gosh, that thing takes a moment to slow down at that speed. So stop, turn. So that should be 35 degrees. Yep. Ooh. Okay, so 35 is where its limit's at. Okay. So definitely get up 30. With how easy 25 was for it to get up and how it almost got up 35, I can only assume we can get up 30. With probably a bit of a struggle. Yeah, battleships, dreadnoughts, supercarriers. Well, dreadnoughts and supercarriers would probably be the more equivalent of super heavies, if anything. Battleships would be heavies, dreadnoughts and supercarriers would be super heavies. Especially in the case with actual tanks. Any multi-turreted tank, like the SK-100, I think it was called. I might be wrong about the number. It was a Soviet tank that had... I can't remember how many turrets it had. I think it had 3. It was a Soviet heavy. It was used against the Finnish. It went horrendously. But that would be classified as a super heavy. Because I believe when it comes to tank classes, that's based on their weight and their firepower, if I remember correctly. I think it's more based on the weight. Because the weight more or less directly corresponds with the armor and the size. The smaller and the more lightly armored it is, well, that's obviously going to be a light. So on. Anywhere kind of in between there is just a medium. I don't think there's really a set basis for what a medium is. It's just kind of anywhere between light and heavy, I guess. Whatever said values are considered as light and heavy. Anywhere between that is just a medium. Don't know what exact specifics consider things as what they are. So I don't need to do any more shaping. I'll add the turret in a moment. Currently just going to focus on some of the detailing stuff for the hull, because, yes. Utilities. Always going to have utilities. Have that there. Have this. Here. Yeah, keep the fire hydrant close to the engine. Yeah, the T-28 was multi-turreted, but that wasn't a heavy. That was more of a medium sort of... That was like a lighter medium type of tank. I'm talking in reference to multi-turreted heavies would be enough to get them considered super heavy, because there's multiple big guns on them. The SK-100, I think it was, and then there was also a KV as well that did the same thing. I can't remember which one it was. No, the KV-6 was not real, so that was not that one. Can't remember which one it was, though. Yeah, medium tanks are just good all-rounders in general. They got pretty decent speed, good armor, pretty good gun most of the time. They're not too big, but they're not too small. Then again, when it comes to tanks, you do kind of want them to be as small as they can be while keeping everything else as good as they can be. So, mediums do strive for that. MBTs, if anything, are just medium tanks, but heavier, better engineered medium tanks, essentially. They kind of bridge the gap between heavy and medium, because they have a lot of this kind of the type of stats that mediums and heavies do. So they're definitely kind of a balance between the two. Lights, on the other hand, those will always remain their own independent class, since they kind of need to be, since they're meant as recon, not for combat per se. Also for like troop transports and whatnot, those will always be their own class. Tank destroyers and artillery will probably also always stay as their own class, because given artillery is completely different, an artillery tank probably takes completely different engineering, because the guns on those things are absurd. Tank destroyers, their engineering's, at least modern day speaking, if those are tank destroyers still really a thing in modern? Well, yeah, they are. Stridsvagen, what am I saying? I guess in a modern sense, though, with tank destroyers, they're kind of more. I place modern tank destroyers maybe more along the lines of like mediums, if anything, because tank destroyers don't need to be heavily armed, because they're not going to be in the front. They're going to be in the way back, so they don't need excessive armor, and you want them to be mobile. So if anything, they're going to be along more the lines of a medium nowadays instead of a heavy, unlike World War II Germany concepts like the Jägerpanzer E100. Absolute chunk. With the tank without a turret, in a real-world sense, you don't want that to be in the front, unless it's being protected by other multiples of tanks with turrets. Yeah, Sweden, that was what I was thinking when I thought of modern-day tank destroyers. That was what came to mind. The Stridsvagen 103 and 105s, all those. Is the 108 one? Yeah. 103, 105, 108. I think that's all three of them. But yeah, Sweden might be the only country that, at least that I can think of, that still actively makes tank destroyers. At least they're the only one that I can think of. I'm probably fucking completely wrong, but I don't really even know. Sweden's the only one I can think of that I know has tank destroyers for sure, because they're the only one I've seen modern day tank destroyers from. I tout myself as a tank nerd, yet I don't know if any other modern day nations still make tank destroyers other than Sweden. Amazing. Alright, so I need to do the riveted paneling. Yes, that's what I was missing. Riveted panels. Wrong one. This one. Yes. Let's go way up. Does that collide with the treads? Yes, it does. Of course, that's not actually something I need to worry about, but aesthetically speaking, it bothers me. Let me do that. Reset the camera. There. Go forwards. There we go. Squeeze this. Back here. Yeah, there we go. And then squish it a little bit more. Like that. How close is that? Okay. That is pretty much right where I want it to be. Not quite though, because that little thing sticks out the front. Ah! Why am I using that? That's just going to make it more difficult because of that thing. Why don't I just use this one? I should have just done that. Alright. Do that. Yeah, because then that can just go right through the return order when you won't see it anyways, so... Yeah. Raise this up a bit. About there? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, SPGs, I guess, can be considered as tank destroyers, but they're not built in the same mindset that actual, like, quote-unquote tank destroyers were built for. A little bit different, but they can be classified as them. For sure, they can be classified, just in all intents and purposes, they're not entirely the same. Why is mirroring not on? Deselect that. Right back in the scene. There we go, now it's on the other side. Okay, there we go. A challenge. I am always up for a challenge. What is said challenge? I'm guessing a tank design challenge. If I had to guess. And also for this, the current design I am doing, I am not inspired from anything that exists or any concept designs. I'm just coming up with this from the top of my head. As with all of the other Insurgent tank designs, except for the other tank destroyer, the gun carrier one, that is heavily inspired from the Churchill gun carrier from Lord of Tanks. That's really the only one I got directly inspired from something, as well as the Scout got inspired from a tank from a completely different game that I have not played in years. Ugh, I have hiccups. Lovely. Oh, that's gonna annoy me. Oh, that is going to bother me. You know what? Actually, no. That's not a thing I'll have to worry about. I can just do this. Put that there. And stretch it. As weird as that looks. As weird as that is, it works. So I don't really care. Just as long as it actually works. Ooh, the Vanguard MBT from Planet Side 2. Let me see what that looks like. Vanguard MBT Planet Side 2. How do I not know it? Oh, is that the, Oh, I haven't seen this tank. What? With as much I play Planet Side and I've never seen this. What? Lovely. That is loud. Okay. So the Vanguard. Okay, I could probably attempt that. That wouldn't be too hard. I don't feel, at least. I don't think that would be too hard. I might be dead wrong, and that might end up being incredibly difficult, because some of that shaping... Ooh, some of that shaping might be difficult with the freeform. But not too difficult, it doesn't seem, at least. Certainly hoping that won't be too difficult. But that's definitely what I'll go and attempt at. I'm just going to get this side paneling. I'm going to finish this one first, and then I will make an attempt on that. Squish that. More squish. A little bit more squish. Undo the squish. And then move the squished piece right next to another squished piece. Now it needs to be a little bit more squished. Squish a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit of squish. A little bit more squish. Not too much. No. Stop. Just like that. Okay, good. Just like that. That'll do. Want it to squish, but not too much squish. Much squish. That. There. Oh, that's going to be so annoying to get this in the right spot. Yes, I am this level of OCD and I need to have it precise. Otherwise it gets on my nerves. Don't know why. Probably a bit of a problem that it does. because it shouldn't. And then again, it does affect the spacing a little bit. But at the same time, it really doesn't, because I have cheats enabled anyways. So it's not like it really makes a difference. It also just makes a bit of beef armor. Oh, it's part of the NCO. Oh, that's why I don't know it, because I only play, friggin', Tehran, or whatever that one was called. TR. Yeah, Tehran Republic. Because that's the faction I play as. That's why I don't know it. Tehran's got the lightning. Originally, I sheerly only went for the Tehran Republic because of the music. It's literally my reason for why I only went with the Tehran originally. And then I just decided to stick with Tehran, since I like Tehran. I met with a good group as well, War Pigs. So I figured I might as well just stick with them. It's a good group. Gotten a few wins with them too. That's good. Is it doing any weird clipping? No, it's not. Okay. Good. The next part. Where's... Yes, here it is. So way up. The camera. And actually, this needs to be stretched. Way out. Don't squish it, but instead stretch it. That... I'm gonna not say that sentence again. I did not think about that. Stick it up to there. Ooh, that's perfect too, because that little thing goes right over there. That actually looks kind of nice like that. Even though that would probably really actually be colliding with the treads. But that works, I suppose. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Okay, paneling. I think the paneling's done for now. Of course, I still need to do some more structural paneling to go along the top, because I'm not going to use the fender paneling, because that has the weird thing that sticks up, which is annoying. Ooh. This might actually work better than I expected. No, not that. God dang it. Place it back. Let's replace that. And just actually make that as long as it can be. Yeah. So then this. Move it across. Ooh. Ooh, that's gonna annoy me. Ooh, that is gonna get on my nerves. Shrink that a bit. But it's... There's... Shrink it a little bit more without having to move it again. Also make it incredibly thin, because it does not need to be beefy. It's not meant to be actual armor. It's meant to just be a cover. If I'm gonna do it like that, I'll make it a little bit wider. Okay, there we go. Then actually, didn't consider for that. I might just use this for the actual cover piece. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to do just like that. There we go. Stretch that out. Switch it out. Rotate. Yeah. There we go. Extend it. Yes. Just like, let me actually rotate again and turn off the rotation snap. Yes, because I am too lazy just to do that with the Pleek armor. It's not a Pleek armor because I have that turned off because it actually does apply armor, so it's not a Pleek. What am I saying? Okay, so I won't worry about covering the rear of the tracks. Yeah, NCO has rock music. Tehran has orchestral, or orchestral, however you say it. And then, or no. Yeah. And then whatever the other faction was, the third one, the one with all like the kind of techier looking stuff that looks kind of like an alien race, whichever that one is. I don't remember what that one has. And then I remember the robotic one. I can't remember what that one's called either. I haven't played in a hot minute. I don't think has their own music, at least none that I can tell, because I don't have it unlocked, so I can't even highlight it to see, or hear, rather, not see. You don't see music, you hear it. What am I saying? That needs to be shotgun 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. So right there's the center one. So it needs to be aligned with that center bolt. Okay. Yes, perfectly on point. Then select it here. Place it right there. And then move it out to right there. There we go. Ooh, that makes it look so clean. It actually kind of looks like the front of a T90 now that I see it, minus the radioactive armor. That's kind of nice like that, actually, though. I do like that. For the time, I'll just get rid of these, since those are just going to be in the way. So get rid of those for now. Place that there. Yeah, I knew the robotic faction was mercenaries. I just don't know what their music/theme sounds like, since I don't have them unlocked, so you can't really preview it. Yes! Ooh, this is perfect on the armor plating. Dang, that looks clean. Ooh, I love this thing already. Maybe we should actually have it so the plating actually just goes in and covers that too. But that actually might look a little bit strange, so I'm not going to do that. I could have it extend out. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. With all of them, this will stretch a little bit more. Yes! Just like that. Yes! Perfect! So now it aligns with that too. Alright, save. Idea. Make that like that. Have that actually extend way out so it still attaches. Alright, there we go. That should be just the right size. Back over just a tad. Perfect. And then I can cover, adjust the camera, go back here, and then I can cover this with just this plate. Yeah, I just do that. Stretch it. Stretch it again. Move it. It'll rotate just a tad. That actually does need to move in. It's about there. Yes! Perfection. Actually move that in a tad, slight more. And then extend it just a little bit. Just so it's just under that. Perfect. That better have been mirrored. Okay, good. It was. Whew. Yeah, by far, I have to say, from the look of the Vanguard, that looks pretty dang good. It's a little strange how towards the back the whole thing slowly gets higher up. And then again, I guess that is good for angling. Then again, what am I saying? I'm literally doing that with this, except backwards. This is literally a Vanguard, but backwards and a little bit bigger. It looks kind of like it's out of Warhammer. If Warhammer tanks were real, if the Lemon Rus was made by Russia, it would look like a T-90. I just kind of thought of that. Unintentionally. Alright, let's see how this works now. Just in relation to the hole. Ooh. This hole feels nice. Gosh, the suspension is just gorgeous in this game. It's like the number one reason what I love about this. It's just how rolling the suspension is. Of course, it's a little bit buggy, but what do you expect? Look at that. Good stuff. Even better. Look at that delicious suspension. Absolutely amazing. Really the only issue I have with suspension in the game is just the fact that the road wheels have to have contact with the ground for the thing to actually move. If it's just the idler or just the sprocket, it doesn't work. Which is a little bit agitating because then, like, for designs like the design I did, yes, this thing. So with designs like this thing, it's a little bit annoying because I wanted this front wheel just to be the one thing in contact, but that doesn't really work. So I had to do a weird thing with the road wheels. I had to make the suspension super stiff, and it struggles to get off of there. Also, yes, this thing is very slow on purpose. I think. No, everything about it's screwed up. Never mind. That's also another little mini-series thing of stuff that I'll go back to later. No, that's the Scout. Here it is. Okay, because sometimes Sprocket's finicky. Likes to break. Yeah, I could definitely see how that's based off the Challenger and the Markava. Definitely looks similar to the Duola. If anything else, it especially has a bit of kind of in relation to the turret, it looks kind of like an Abrams plus a Leclerc, which is a French NBT. In relation to the turret, it kind of has a mix of those two. A little bit of Leopard 2 vibes in it with the optics as well. To be honest. Alright. So now for the turret. Actually do get the utilities back on. Rotation lock back on. Shovel, hammer, whatnot. All that there. Riveted. Ooh. Mobility. Spares. Yes, that's something that's missing. Is spares. Yes. right between. Perfect. I don't know if there will ever be a point other than armor for spares. I don't know if that'll actually be a usable thing. Because I know currently, like, tracks and whatnots can be destroyed. As of currently, it doesn't seem like they can be repaired. Unless I'm wrong and it's something like in a beta branch currently. But I'm hoping, if, like, the ability to repair things does become a thing, I'm hoping it does actually utilize the amount of spares you put on something. At the same time, I'm also kind of hoping it doesn't, because then people will absolutely overload spares just as the armor over the entire thing, so it can be super, super light and have tons of space, and then but still have a ton of armor just from being covered in shreds, as well as spare wheels, which I do need a few pairs of spare wheels. Yeah. There we go. There's a few of them. So they're all on the same point, so they're all... No! That's not what I wanted to do! Okay, yeah, I'll just do this again later. These switch... Okay, there we go. Let's switch out of that, so now I'm not messing with those. There we go. It's a good method if you want to place a bunch of something all in line with another something, but you don't want them to be like out of line or something. Just place a ton of them all on top of one another. Which you copy things with pressing Alt, keep the mouse exactly where it is, press Alt, left click, duplicates the thing, and if as long as your mouse didn't move, it'll be in the exact same spot. That actually won't need that many extra wheels. I'll just give it 3. Tracks. Just there for a moment, so then I come back to cruise, so then I don't screw up the whole thing. Was that not mirroring? It wasn't. Okay, well that's annoying. Okay, now it is. Which spaces between? About the same. Okay. Ability. Tracks. Strike crew, so I don't mess with the wheels. Up the number of spares on this. So it's on both sides. That right there. So the spares to 6. Another thing of spares. How many can fit there? 3. There we go. I need to remember to put this back. Okay. It's looking good on all the extra details. It's looking good on that. Looking good on that. Why does she put this on here too? I think that prevents water from flowing up. Well, I don't feel this thing is much of a benefit, just a little extra detail, I guess. Yeah, I'm not using it in any tank, I don't need it. Although, I want to see, actually. So that's right there. So yeah, it's there. It's height. That. That's actually not too bad. You know what? I'm gonna keep that. I'm actually gonna keep that like that. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Spare logs. Spare logs. Where can I put this? Because of all tanks, this is the #1 thing that needs spare logs. do this. You know what? No. Forget the logs. I don't need them. They're a little bit much. Although I'll probably have a bunch of them on the back of the turret. Like a bunch of smaller ones and whatnot. Ooh. Does make me think now. How should I do the turret? Because I'm not too sure on what to do for that. Stowages... Maybe. Maybe stowages. Maybe not stowages. Maybe not. I might just put those on the turret. Yeah, I'll just put the stowages on the turret. That'll be easier. Unless I put some right here. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I did some right there. That's actually a really nice spot for some. Okay. So. Mobility. Powertrain, twin, transmission. Good. Save it. Let's just double check how it all functions now. And change the step. So I do want to see how does it face off against the just the normal tank. Let's just see how it faces off the standard tank. This suspension. Ooh. Slap that tread though. It's got a lot of torque, so this can keep moving even with one track down. Well, it's got better power forwards because it's got more gears. I am not turning. It's just doing that on its own because it's turning. It's me. Don't think the standard NBT for this tank series is able to destroy. Why is it staring and not shooting? Oh, if they can't shoot, that must just mean the AI can't pan. Oh, never mind. Spoke way too soon. The AI was just taking forever to shoot. I think I was just trying to get its shot aimed in, even though there's not really dispersion based on movement. If you're looking at it, you're gonna hit it. Pretty much. Generated turrets. Blech. No. Freeform turret. Yes. Ooh. I don't know what I should do for the turret. Also, I can't exactly steer it when one of the treads is destroyed. Can I scale the turret currently? No, I can't. Okay, so it has to be in place for the scaling. Don't know what I should do for the turret design. I kind of like the base design for the freeform turret, which you can also have it centered. I kind of like the way it just looks already. Of course, it doesn't work because it gets larger at the back, which is absolutely hideous. But I'm not too sure on what to do for the turret. Actually, let me go with the square turret, so I have an empty base. Okay. How big is the turret ring? Turret ring. .8. There we go. Armor thickness. Doesn't matter the thickness of that ring. You're never gonna hit that. How thick is that basket anyways? 0.025 meters. Yeah, you're never gonna hit that. Even if you do, you're gonna hit the armor around it, so it's gonna ricochet no matter what. So that is impenetrable, so it doesn't matter how thick that is at all. Okay, that is good. That is good. I hate how I can't focus on the turret. Unless I can. There might be a keybind for that. No, I cannot. Okay, that's annoying. It is what it is, I suppose. Is this mirroring? Yes, it is. Alright, now that turret got there. No, not what I meant to move. Ring height. Why can I do that? Because I can, apparently. Ring height as low as it can be, which is 0.01. Okay. It's beneficial if it's lower. Ooh, yeah, that's actually beneficial by all means to have it as low as it can be. And notice the distance, the time it takes, changes. Let's see. Oh, my mic is buzzing. Hold on. There we go. I only just realized my mic was doing a weird buzzing thing. So if that was going for a while, my apologies. I am unable to hear myself play back because if I had it set so where I could, the desktop audio would be picked up, so then my voice would be doubled. Why don't I actually just set it so I can hear myself on stream? I should have just did that. I should have just done that, then I would have been able to hear that. So if that was going for a while, my apologies. I did not realize. Okay, so I might... I'm just not too sure what to do for the turret. I'll let go forwards, but then have it go out farther backwards. No, actually, no. No, not the round turret. That is hideous. Square turret again. I'm gonna go into this so that I get the right shape. Nope, mic buzz. Yeah, okay. That really loud sound that you hear as well when I say mouth buzz, that's just me hitting the mic, which is the only way I can get the buzz to stop. So, apologies. If you hear the loud buzz, just be prepared for that really loud sound. Because that fixes the mic. Don't know why. I don't know why my mic is messing up, because in my old setup, it never used to. Okay, so it wasn't going for too long. Okay, that's good. Nope, I can't do that. Can't do that. Nope, can't do that. No, so I have to... Aha! Okay, there we go. This is a chonky turret. Okay, so then edges... Split. Shrink it back. Maybe that's it. Actually, I do want this to extend out farther than the front. Okay, there we go. Edges. Move them both inwards. Oh, that ring diameter needs to be smaller. There we go. And then faces, height. Yeah. That looks good for height. Edges. Lower this. This is a bit of a British tank-inspired sort of turret, I'm guessing now. Which is not intentional, but it is what it is. Alright, so... Oh yeah, I know what I was going to do. Take that edge. What if I split it? How does it split? Ooh. No. Faces. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. God dang it. Nope, nope. There we go. I actually go back to the save, because that might be the turret. Yeah, okay. So, if I revert that back inwards a little bit... Actually, if I just kept it there, if I just split... and split. Oh, mic buzz. Apologies, that's my only way of being able to fix the mic. I don't know how else to get it to stop. It's a bit of the most annoying way possible for that to be the only way I can fix it. And the biggest problem is that I don't know what causes it. It just kind of starts buzzing on its own. So if that happens to hurt your ears, my apologies. I will try to give a warning ahead of time before doing so, so you're able to prepare your eardrums for a shockwave. Hoping eventually though I'll be able to figure out what that issue is, because my mic never used to do that. Okay, I think in the turret this is looking pretty good. It's kind of looking like the turret on a Black Prince, honestly. Which I kind of like. Stowage. Or, no, not that one. This one. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Always gotta have some stowages, because they always make things look a lot better. Still need to set it up so when I get followers and whatnot, or when new people join, there'll be a notification for the stream, and also so chat will show up on the side. Or actually just literally right here on the screen itself. That'd be quite nice, so then I'll have to keep looking over. Okay. Firepower, mantlets. As I've been doing with all of them, I'm gonna do the Panther mantlet. So gonna be honest, the Panther mantlet kind of looks the best. Perfectly wide enough. There we go. How much gun depression does this have? 12 degrees. Wow. Then again, I guess the more the better when it comes to gun depression. You always want as much as you can get. Base, jack that all the way up, because why not? If I can, I will. Oh, ooh, with that effective thickness. 336. 350 base already. Ooh, and I haven't even messed with that at all. Elevation. Right, Let's see how that looks. Ooh, that's got some great elevation. 27.9 degrees. Depression. Yeah, that's nice. Except for that to go hold down. Yeah. Hold down isn't really much of a problem you have to worry about with Sprocket, because when you're trying to camp from over a ridge, tanks don't really stay still if they're not on flat ground. At least in the case of Sprocket. Which is a little bit annoying, but I mean, the physics are still kind of being worked out, so I can't exactly blame him. Plus, it's one dev. You really can't blame him. Elevation 0. Right, so base faces. Let's get some armor on this. Torque. Yes, have that as high as it can be. Don't actually need to worry about the front armor too badly, because that's covered by the mantlet. You want this to be pretty beefy. Base thickness? What? Excuse me? Oh, that's the ring. Okay, don't care about the ring. Thickness... 120. Guess that'll do. This can be a little bit weaker. Maybe 100? Yeah, that'll do. And then the rear of the turret, maybe about 90. The rear of the hull, I'll also lower to 90. What is that? 100. Okay. The roof absolutely needs to be higher. 70. Should that be good? No. 90. That up there can probably be 70 and be fine. Yes, it can be. Okay. And then those two bits can be 50. Yeah, so it makes it almost like it's one singular armored plate. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so on armor, I think this thing is all good now. Just a matter of... actually, yeah, what up? I just realized I still need to set up the gun. I haven't done that. I'm going to put some spares on the turret. Yeah, put some there. There we go. Perfect. Some viewports. Split them off that way a little bit. No, it's like mouse ears. Right here. Head forwards. Although at a slight angle probably be better. In a realism sense. That should be dead forwards. Yeah, just like that. Much better. So then, hatches. Do a double round hatch. That way, everything else, the hatch. Well, yeah, I guess I'll actually have just the way that everything else is, which is in a tank development sense, really isn't the way you should have them. You should always have the hinge forward, so when you open them, you actually have a shield in front of you. But it's not a big deal for me, honestly. Not too concerned. And then the Commander Cupola, not a thing I ever focus on. I just... it's annoying to deal with, so I just do that. Shrink it as small as I can. And just hide it somewhere in the tank. It's a lot easier to manage like that, so then it also doesn't stick out the bottom. So I can actually get it again easily. I'll put it way back here. Only have like a little bit of it poking out. No, didn't mean to edit that. Can I still hide it? Yes, I can. Okay. Good. Now I need to put the stowage back on here. There we go. Definitely needs a radium in. Even though it really doesn't. But it as well. Dual antennae. Yeah. And yes, there will be a camo for this. As all the other designs I've done for this tree branch of tanks and whatnot all have a set camo. Now it's a matter of just... okay, so this is a heavy, so that should definitely have an anti-infantry machine gun up here. Backwards a bit. Yes, just like that. Looking nice. Machine gunner turret thing. That actually looks weird. Yeah, no, not doing that. Okay, so now for the gun. Caliber. 125. Because this boy is heavy. What's the reload time currently? 11. Okay. Okay. I just want to lower that. Da, 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 da. Keep it there. This is a giant gun for a heavy tank, but you know what? It'll do. Alright, so that's... I think, design-wise, this might be all done. Now it's just a matter of... Oh, wait, no, not yet. Why does it look of gold? Ugh, that is hideous. With the gold camo. Let's search again. Yes! Ooh, that's looking nice. That looks real nice. So then, now it's just a matter of test. So first, let's test it against another one. Turns quick, gun does not I wasn't tracking Nope, cannot squeeze it. For a heavy tank, this thing is quite fast. Look at that miss. And ooh, yeah, that's still two explosives. Do you want to test the suspension of this thing though, since it's got the turret, which is decently heavy. So do this. See how it handles the incline. 25. No, it did 25 degrees without a problem. Let's try 30 degrees, because I know it would have been able to do this. It almost made 35. No problem at 25, so 30 would be 50-50. So nothing matters. You can do it now. Ooh. Ooh. Not quite, actually. It's actually stuck. Is it stuck completely? Yes, it is. Okay. Well, something to be aware of. It 100% gets stuck there. Probably just didn't have enough speed. If I had the speed, it probably would have been able to get up that. I just did not have a good run up. Here we go. Bad start on speed. Very bad start. Oh, it still gets up 25 degrees, no problem. Okay, that is good. Now it's a matter of seeing how it does against all the other tanks in this series, of which I will go through all of these in a moment. How does it do against the AT? Oh, pen's the lower, easy peasy. Personnel can't do a thing. I'm not shooting the turret specifically because I know the turret is super thin. I'm trying to see if it can kill it via the lower plate. It's not looking like it can because everything is decently high up. then... Not gonna try with that destroyer because that one's broken at the moment. Big gun carrier. Face forwards. If it's gonna shoot. Oh yeah, no, it's looking at me. Okay. Oh, absolutely can't pin that. I forgot how much spares I put on that thing. If it cannot pin what the driver support is, then it cannot pin the front at all. Oh, yeah, this 100% cannot pin the front. That AI can't seem to pin me either. Visibly is freaking out. Oh, and I got it stuck. Great job. It did. Excuse me? Excuse me. Oh, that's why insurance. There we go. So then, how does it go against the APC? Which the APC is not in its advanced final. Oop. What's up? Do it stay facing forwards. Yes, it can. Ooh, it can. Okay. Turret is not as beefy as I thought it was. Oh, no, not that one. Just the base tank. Ooh. Oh, cannons. Okay. Oh, turret. Very good to know. Right behind those turrets, there's a weak spot. Alright. That is very good to know. And then the scout. The scout's probably the only good match for this thing, because that thing's fast. Well, actually not as fast as I hoped it would be. I was working on it, but... See how tough this is. Remember, that thing over there is built to be a light. And I think this just bounced the lower plate. That lower plate isn't that intensely angled. Oh no, it didn't bounce, I just missed. Okay, yeah. So it pins that easily. What about the center plate? Because I know I beefed up the center. Oh yeah. That sticks out. Oh, easily. Okay. So this can take on... You know, actually, let me see if this one's actually broken or not. Oh, it's not. Okay, that's actually good to know. It is not broken. Ooh, can't pin it though. Can't pin the lower. That's... I'm actually surprised. That's not even where I was aiming. And the AI is panicking again, and it's going to back up into the tree. I think it's all stuck. Maybe? No. Stealth 100. Chase him. No, I'm not gonna bother chasing him. So I'm gonna see if I can fight it. Fight the heavy I just did, and any of the other tanks that I have played. So this one does not have a chance. actually didn't break. Oh, I can't even break the tread. Okay, that's good to know. Wait, hold up. Okay, yep, that one's still broken. And carrier's not. If I remember correctly, the gun carrier has a much higher pin than the heavy does. Ooh. As you can tell, this is very kind of World War I era tank design inspired. Ooh, what? Where did that hit? What? That must have hit in a weird spot. Interesting, so the GC actually will suffer against it. This one's certainly not going to go well, because this actually, I think, has less pen than the anti-personnel. That kind of pen. The only difference is faster reload. Oh, can't even break the treads. Oh, it can break the treads. Never mind. Never mind. Oh, I will. Lovely. So the APC thus far is the only one capable of doing this. I can't hit the sight though. Nice. What about the standard? Ooh, treads. What? I don't have to worry about the lower end of this being pinned too much as long as I'm flat and I'm not facing upwards. The lower is not a concern. Alright, so now this one has been successful as well as the APC. This was the first one of the series I actually did as well. And this has been by far the most reliable. And the Scout. This thing is meant to be light, but I think the heavy tank is actually faster than this. I'm not trying to track it. Ooh, track me though. Oh, jig there. Gotta be a bit faster. No. Oh, I destroyed everything that hit the ammo rack. That's for sure. Scout by far still has the best look. I love this thing's look so much. Ooh. Alright, so the only ones successful against the heavy were sheerly just by sheer luck of hitting the tracks, which was unintentional, is the APC and the standard type 1. Alright, so all the other ones that I have done, so there's the anti-personnel, which is the same hull as the standard, but it's got this little thing right here on the front, so any shells that bounce off this front plate won't actually hit the turret, because this was the biggest flaw of this originally. If anything hit this front face or up here, it would bounce off and hit the turret every time, unless it's at an angle like this far or more. So I add this little plate, so anything that does bounce off here will actually hit this, and then bounce either way higher, or just render as penning that, and then not pen this. Because this turret armor is super, super thin. It's like, I think at most, like 90 millimeters, if I remember correctly. This tank destroyer, which for some reason is broken, might be something with the crew. No, it's not. Okay. This one is pretty highly armored, and as you can tell from the very front, extremely angled. I'm not going to pen this thing from the dead front at all. No chance of it, unless the whatever you're using has a gun with a caliber above 250, in which case you only have a chance of hitting that. That's again head on. The rear is relatively weak. If anything, this is kind of like a Jägerpanzer E100, but better designed because it's actually got angling. It's also got some spaced armor plates right there and there. I didn't exactly need them, but I felt like I had them because they look nice. And then the gun carrier, actually, just disable this so you can actually see, which is very much inspired from British World War I tanks. It's a giant hull. The tracks stick out wider than the hull itself. It's not much taller than it. All the engine stuff is right at the back, kind of cut in. Hatch right here in the center with a gun facing backwards. And then this extends upwards at a 51-degree angle, if I remember correctly. And a pretty powerful gun at that, too. It's a giant gun, too. If I remember, Cali 141. Yeah, that's a beefy gun. Gun carrier, the heavy, I already know. Multi-gun APC, that's the camera. This one, this is kind of on the lighter side as well, as was the anti-personnel. A little bit bigger. This is kind of just built in mind with kind of looking like an APC, not built for being a tank in mind. This again, when multi-guns come out, is going to be changed a little bit. I'll probably have like 2 of these guns each on the side instead of these machine guns. Or actually, no. When I was thinking, when the machine guns become functional, this won't have this main gun, and will instead just use those 2 machine gun turrets that are on the center turret, so they can look in basically every direction, including straight up. So this is also serves as a bit of like a mini anti-air with machine guns rather than a main gun like this. Then the primary standard tank, all around beefy boy. If anything, unintentional until after I started shaping this turret, but it's the same, it's a very, well, not the same, but a very similar turret shape to the Brasque, the French light/medium tank, the small one, the Brasque, if I can say it right, Brasque, there we go, French, but kind of went with a similar design style to that after I realized the shape was very similar, so then I started just designing some of the extra stuff to be similar to it. Of course, the gun caliber is kind of ridiculous compared to the Brasque. Much smaller gun. The one I did is much chunkier. And then yes, the Insurgent Scout, which is on the lighter end, sort of quote-unquote lighter end. It's lighter in the armor, but not faster in speed. It's got a pretty solid gun. It's also got a British mantlet, because I figured that actually looks the best, especially since it has the machine gun on the mantlet. That's the number one reason why I use the British mantlet. The other mantlets do not have that. I just realized I didn't put muzzle brakes on the heavy. need to do that. Oh, well, it defaulted that muzzle brake. Which is the one that's more beneficial? That lessens the elevation time. That makes it less than without. Oh, because the weight. Oh. Okay, I did not pay attention to that. The little weight indicator thing moves. Yeah, I've got to say, this heavy is looking pretty solid. And I think for finalization, I'm going to run it through the campaign. Yes, quit to main menu. Let's run it through from the crossroad, because this is the toughest level. So I'm going to run it this one. I'll do it just in case. I didn't add lights. No, whatever. Yep, nope, this has no lights on it yet. Oh, this is so much speedier than the lighter tanks I used on this map. Oh, that was a tree. I'm gonna reach for that place. Yes. Probably get one teammate with this thing. Okay, that's good. So that actually means I don't have a chance of another AI shooting another teammate AI, because that's always been the problem with this map. When usually you'll get two teammates and they'll spawn one behind the other, and the other will happen to stay right in front of the other. So when they shoot, I immediately just shoots them and takes the teammate out right off the bat. It makes it so much harder. Let's see how this will figures. Can this be damaged? No, cannot. Okay, I'm not surprised. It is the King Tiger. And King Tiger in this map is very beefy. What just happened? Yes! Armor plate with no armor. It's for that reason why armor plates slight above angle that'll pan so easily. Wait, almost though. Yes. Next mission. Right. Type 1. Just do it twice to be sure. Missing now, actually. Lights. This is why I didn't run with that thing, because that would just make way for those. Right. Yeah, right there. And then rear tail lights. There we go. Now save it. What? Destroyed 4 part. Okay, something looked out there. destroyed 4 parts that were 20 meters away. There was nothing that was... whatever. Dang, this thing's fast. 53 kilometers an hour average for a heavy tank. Why aren't my teammates moving? Oh, they are. They're just being dumb. Amazing. Oh, flags big. So that must mean the enemies have spawned. Typically, that's the case if you're losing flags by. Yep, because they're all moving forwards now. So yes, there are enemies. Yes, there they are. Dang, this thing is bouncing too. Hey there. You're dead. This tank is overkill against all these. Oh no, my treads. Let me see. Is there actually a way to really repair them? Gun convergence. Don't know what that actually does. The know to put out the fire. Huh. It just might not be possible. Okay, that's a little bit annoying. Yet, at least. It did. There's a bunch of little tiny ones. Take what I can here, and then I'll have to switch to a different tank, because I'll need to actually keep moving in order for new stuff to spawn. Oh, both my treads are broken. Ooh. Oh, it's right here. Oh, I guess none of them can pen. Yep, none of them can. That's just guns. Excuse me, my teammate just killed me. Great. And the fact that these two have not moved. Fantastic. I'm not going to be in front of one. So the other one, last one that way, is still behind mine. Because this map has 2 waves, and you have to move forwards to trigger them. Move. Hopefully, yeah, because that one's not moving. Yes. There he is. Oh, they're both alive. One's dead. Ooh, let's wait. Either must be triggering. Next wave. Yes, it is. That is so far away. Oh, I'm not even close. Yeah, we got him way up. This might not be the brightest choice, but you know what? The AI is not moving, so I gotta do it. Sirens going by. Lovely. My teammates. Am I actually straight up be stuck? They are. My teammates. My teammate AIs. siren. There's another. Both my tracks broken? Yes, both are. Oh no, I gotta take out this one because this one will be a pain to deal with if it gets around. Okay, there. Excuse me. Alright, I'll let my teammates handle that one. No. My teammates are not handling this one. The rear of my turret is... Okay, there we go. Good. I did not want to have to turn around to face that because the rear of the turret is weaker than the rear of the tank itself. Yes. Go. Hello there, tank. What do you think you are doing? Failing miserably? Yes. Where am I getting hit? Did my engine just die? No. It's dead. It's not dead. Now it's dead. I'm just getting chucked about. I missed. Dang it. A little bit higher. If this wasn't so wobbly, that would be fantastic. Ooh, yes. Perfect. How many kills I got? A bunch. Hello. Last closing. Goodbye. Ooh. That penned. Another shot at me did. But it didn't do any damage. There we go. Now it's down. Aiming on that one. Reload quicker. That shell also penned, but it didn't do any damage. That must have been penning the thing in the rear where there isn't anything. So that must be where those shots were penning. Yes, there we go. There's something over there. That was... Is that one gonna pop up? Easier? Yes. Alright, what? Slash. Oh, right over there. There he is. What you doing way over there by yourself, bud? About to suffer. Yes! Oh gosh, there must be more. How do I switch tanks? Ah, that's how. Attack. There is 4 left. The little thing in the bottom right, the circle. That's the indicator of what's left. And the ring indicates how much you actually need to win still. If I remember correctly. It's a little bit weird the way that is. Move it up, move it up, move it up. Move it up, move it up. Alright. There's moi. This must be an area that's stuck. What's that? I had to guess. Man, this thing's lovely. Fantastic. I'll take quote unquote little. It's quite big compared to those. She looks quite good with some of the grime. So what is left? There must be stuff. Something stuck somewhere. Unless the mission's bugged, and there actually isn't. Because I know that's a bug that can happen, where the missions don't render that it's actually completed. Because it thinks there's something more when there isn't. It's looking like that's the case. Yeah, I think that's just the case. I think that's the case. Okay. A little bit annoying. Fields is the one I just did, so then Taiga. Heavy. Can't see the lights on this map. Right. Move up not too far though, so I have enough view. Hello there. Super. Got one. My teammate's got the other. It's a tiger. Can't move. Good. I'll leave them for now, actually. Yes. They all have a white camo except for me. I would just bring my trails. Oh. Bridge that right. Spawn some. Thing. Push! Push! That one? Switch this one. I want my primary one to stay there, because that one will live. We can't move, so we can do anything dumb. Oh. Like wintry texture. This looks really nice. Ooh, main one died. You did. So where's the other time you're out? Somewhere. Oh, way over here. Wait, what? Oh, this is the last one left? Are you kidding me? Lucky shot there. I didn't think I could pin that. That's why I wasn't going for there. Oh, that wasn't mini shield. Oh yeah, that. Yeah, where I was with that one would not have been able to hit that one slower, but this one was just at a slightly better angle. I won with one tank that cannot move. We won, but at what cost? I think you can still move though, because I know you can use the recoil as means of moving. a little bit. Get it going. Nope, not working. Okay, a little bit annoying. But dang, though. This tank right here, this boy right here, absolute trooper. The reason why we won is because this sole survivor. Let's face it, the real reason is because of this one, the OG, solid black camo one. Because, yes. I wonder what happens if I play it as if I just rush in. As heavies are supposed to do. Not sit back and camp. Heavies are supposed to be played. You rush them in. Yeah, there we go. That was much cleaner. Didn't lose a single one. Oh, the spawns are different. Oh, that's why, because there's no tigers. That would be why there's no tigers. I wonder. What if I just... And then something about just nobody leaves this battlefield. Nobody. This is very slow paced. And I believe I am the only one remaining now. Yes. Alright, dang though. Desktop, not desktop, main menu, sandbox. I do want to test actually how this thing will do with a ramp jump. Because it's the one thing I didn't do yet. This map. Yep. Even reversing this thing's quick. Yes. I'll probably do another stream tomorrow, and then that's when I'll work on the Vanguard. Probably not going to do that today, since I've already been doing this for 3 hours now. So if I'm doing a Vanguard, I will do that tomorrow. Because this thing alone, which isn't super complex, took 2 hours to make from start to finish. About an hour's worth of just messing with it, testing and whatnot. So with the Vanguard and whatnot, I will probably work on that tomorrow. Whee! Very bouncy. Didn't even slam on the floor or the ground. The suspension is so good in this thing. It's absolutely fantastic. Perfection. Let's see actually how it fares with getting up here. zigzag hill. A lot of my designs actually struggle with. So see how this fares with it. This is the gearing. Is lower. Ooh. The torque is not doing this any favors. Jeez. It's struggling. Yeah, once you start with gears, then it's going. Might have to raise the gearing a little bit so it's easier to adapt. That'll affect the max speed, but I'm fine with that. I don't want this thing to be too fast. Because again, it's a heavy tank. It's not supposed to be fast. To be slow and hitting. Not as fast as a light tank. Suspension. Oh, on point. Perfect. So I'm probably gonna wrap up today's stream here. Made some, from start to finish, made a fully functioning heavy tank within the Insurgent class series, in which over on my YouTube channel I will be doing a little mini series for all of these. So that'd be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 different. I'll probably do individual videos for each of them, just kind of going them over separate, and then a larger one going over kind of their lore. But I'm not good with wrapping up streams. This is the first one I have done in years. But yeah, hopefully I will have another stream up tomorrow, going up with the suggestion as brought up by BTD for the Vanguard from PlanetSide 2. Hopefully that'll go well. That'll probably take a little longer than this will, because that one's design is pretty intricate with some of the minor details. I don't go super in-depth with mine. The most in-depth thing I have is probably just the way this rear cuts in. And that's not that complex. It's just a pain to do. But, yeah guys, that is going to wrap up for today's stream. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a follow. Check out other channels on... Check out my channels on YouTube and my Spotify artist page. Been planning to release some more songs coming out semi-soon, hopefully. Yeah, guys, and I will see you in the next one.